WGAN Forum Podcast number 149. Wednesday, October 26, 2022.
This WGAN Forum podcast is sponsored by the We Get Around Network Forum, your source for Matterport and related 3D and 360 platforms, cameras, and third-party add-ons. Visit WGANforum.com.
Why Matterport should buy the RSET platform for emergency training. Commentary and analysis by Dan Smigrod, founder and managing editor. We Get Around Network and WGAN-TV Podcast. Matterport should buy RSET is my takeaway from the demo and discussion with the RSET team on a recent WGAN-TV podcast. Matterport plus RSET for real-world simulations for police, fire, and EMT emergency responders. During this WGAN-TV podcast, RSET founder and CEO Bill Gregory said, RSET is developed for the military and first responders, primarily, where you can take 3D scans of real-world environments and create an interactive space to do training simulations and after-action review. Add to this, according to the RSET website, where high-risk events can be safely replicated, customized and shared to save lives and reduce injuries in the line of duty. Unfortunately, it's not too hard to imagine a mass casualty incident, an active shooter at a school, church, or synagogue, a fire in a museum or theater, or an explosion at a high-visibility and critical building space in your community. Now, imagine that prior to that mass casualty event, emergency responders, police, firefighters, and EMTs can train within a digital twin of that specific space to rehearse various scenarios such as 1. Various kinds of casualties. 2. AI adversaries shooting back. 3. Obstacles. 4. Weather conditions, smoke, fire, lighting, submerged underwater. 5. The fire, various burn rates of walls and floors. 6. Sounds of people, avatars, screaming for help, or too injured to say anything. Imagine after mass casualty events, the same as above, except with the actual scenarios, digitally recreated, to do post-analysis of what happened to either. Improve for the next time. Use in litigation next-generation trial graphics to bring the jury to the scene of a nightclub fire and walk them around. Before and after simulations for emergency responders are possible because of Matterport plus RSET. The Rapid Synthetic Environment Tool, RSET engine, enables anyone, democratizes, to build out training scenarios using the Matterport MatterPack object file. OBJ, as the environment. It's easy to picture. Creating a Matterport scan of a space today, build out the emergency training scenario tomorrow, and then conduct before and after training simulations. Before Matterport plus RSET, training and post-event analysis was 1. Super expensive. 2. Time-consuming to create. 3. Not necessarily realistic. 4. Required, expensive, skilled computer programmers and digital designers. Super expensive and time-consuming because it could take weeks or months to digitally recreate a space that now can be done in a day with Matterport. Or, not necessarily realistic, because of teddied bear triage and treatment. Yes, that's a thing, where they will give a teddied bear a tag and a bandage on it and throw it into a building and say, I'm a 35-year-old male with a gunshot wound to the chest, said Bill during the WGAN-TV podcast. Add military infantry-related training to the mix and you start to see how any space, scanned with Matterport and paired with RSET, can be safely replicated, customized and shared to save lives and reduce injuries in the line of duty. RSET started working for the Office of Naval Research, developing a rapid scanning platform for military training, said Bill during the WGAN-TV podcast. When we got into this, we were actually building our own scanning hardware, and then it was about 2014, we started noticing a lot of scanners coming online. And started working with Matterport at that time and decided it would be a better path instead of trying to compete with all the hardware manufacturers to just design a platform that could use the output from any one of these scanners. When we really started using Matterport, it became our platform of choice to start doing this. We've been working for the military doing this for a while now, creating, again, training scenarios or after-action reviews, because it's a really low barrier of entry because you don't have to have a lot of training, you don't need to train a 3D modeler to create an environment, Bill said. Plus, all training scenarios can be recorded, videos, via virtual cameras placed in the space and from the point of view of the emergency responders and others in the space. Add to the mix a Matterport Pro 3 camera for scanning the environments for training that can now easily include the outside of buildings, tall ceilings, and super large spaces. For a Matterport acquisition of RSET, Matterport plus RSET means 1. New verticals for Matterport, military and emergency responder training, police, fire, and EMTs. 2. New uses for existing Matterport digital twins that may have been created for marketing purposes that now can be used in an entirely different and unexpected, important way. 3. More Matterport digital twins, yet another reason to create a digital twin of a space. 4. Sell more Matterport Matterpacks, add-on, RSET uses the OBJ in the Matterport Matterpack. 5. Limit RSET engine to only Matterport. Presently, the RSET engine works with any scan that can generate an object file. Given that RSET saves lives, perhaps instead of limiting the RSET engine to Matterport, Matterport could charge a fee for importing scans from other platforms. 6. Avoid Matterport being boxed out of using RSET. Imagine if another scanning platform/camera decided to buy RSET and limit its use to their object files only. 7. Matterport service providers. Matterport plus RSET adds value to existing Matterport scans by Matterport service providers and will help MSPs get new business. 8. Sell more Matterport Pro 3 cameras. Since training includes the outside of spaces, entering in existing buildings, a Matterport Pro 3 camera will likely be needed for the majority Matterport plus RSET integrations. My impression is that Matterport has more than 20,000 Matterport service providers worldwide, typically real estate photographers that offer Matterport as an add-on. Matterport plus RSET has the potential to be a significant use case to offer Matterport digital twins. 9. Scale faster around the globe. It's likely that Matterport could help expedite growth, with its deep pockets, across America and around the globe. 10. Democratize scanning. It's way easier to show someone how to scan a space with a Matterport Pro 3 camera than it is to teach them how to use Unity to code and design an existing space. 11. License spaces for pre-built training. Imagine police departments creating training exercises, Matterport plus RSET, and licensing the experience to police departments across the country. An additional revenue stream for Matterport. 12. Save lives and reduce injuries. Saving lives and reducing injuries is a great moral compass for a company and helps supercharge the Matterport mission, leading spatial data company driving the digital transformation of the built world. Matterport Pro 3 camera. To amplify the point about selling more $6,000 Matterport Pro 3 cameras, and $8,000 Matterport Pro 3 camera acceleration kits, includes Matterpacks. They are super inexpensive when compared to weeks or months of highly skilled Unity developers and artists reconstructing real spaces. And, while Matterport likely doesn't make much money from the sale of the Matterport Pro 3 camera, compared to the $20,000 plus Leica BLK 360 scanners, Matterport makes its money on cloud hosting and add-ons as a result of more scanning with Matterport Pro 3 cameras. Matterport Matterpack. There is a good chance that if you are a Matterport service provider or end user of Matterport, that you never had a need to order a Matterport Matterpack. With the pairing of Matterport plus RSET engine, RSET has created huge value for Matterport Matterpacks that previously have, easily, been perceived as detritus, if noticed at all, except by architects, engineers and construction AC professionals that needed the Matterpack to create files that could be imported into Revit, SketchUp and other CAD programs. While Matterport has done a great job preventing you from seeing through walls when walking around a Matterport digital twin, with fire training, for example, you do want to see if there is a 3-ton air conditioning unit above you or if the floor is missing support beams. With Matterport Matterpack plus RSET, you can see through walls and floors. Market size for space-based training. How big are the markets for training of the military, emergency responders, and litigation digital modeling? I could imagine that the annual spending on these three verticals could easily bump the annual spend on Matterport digital twins exponentially in the coming years. The training experience works great with keyboard controls or a PlayStation game controller as well as within a virtual reality (VR) head-mounted device. Matterpack attack. If you get to play or see the free RSET zombie game, Matter Pack Attack, you can experience or see the data view of your Matterport digital twin, or the free examples provided. One might say that the data view looks like a bombed-out version of a Matterport digital twin. And, while you would never use the Matterpack view of a Matterport digital twin for marketing purposes, such as helping sell real estate, it turns out this rough view of spaces is perfect for military infantry-related training, emergency responder training, police, fire and EMTs, litigation and for fighting zombies. RSET is already seeing traction with these use cases among these clients. U.S. Department of the Navy Science and Technology. U.S. Department of the Navy Marine Corps. Lexington, Kentucky Fire Department. OLF Old Father Law Firm. RSET has already been used in lawsuit settlements of over $100 million. While I began by saying Matterport should buy RSET, it's likely that Matterport should limit its investment to 20% of RSET. This way, RSET can remain independent and agile, to move quickly and easily with the investment endorsement and funding from Matterport and the vertical expertise of the RSET team. Matterport shouldn't wait too long to make an offer to acquire or invest in RSET. RSET engine is platform agnostic, including working with Apple iPhones and iPads that include LiDAR, which means RSET could have potentially deeper pocket investors. I have not talked with the RSET leadership about their investment or scaling plans. Whatever RSET decides, exciting times ahead. What are your thoughts? Should Matterport buy or invest in RSET?